Welcome back everyone to Mysterium from Mysterium Gaming. Today we're running the raid known as Dragon Soul. We have it set on to Heroic 25 so we can get as much loot as we can. And see, the beginning here is as you fight your way to the temple. We're just gonna more or less kind of just skip right through these ads. Go right for this boss right there first. More chalk. And see, he has a stomp ability, but on Heroic it actually increases damage taken by the player. A resonating crystal that he'll summon up and explode on the battlefield after 12 seconds. He also gets Furious, which is basically an erase effect, increases attack speed by 30 and damage by 20. But also, when he hits 90%, he actually summons up a brother, known as Krumthal. Pretty much his name spelled backwards, if you look. More or less, he has the same abilities as usual as him. Let's go and take this guy down.
You thought to fight me alone? I need to get this. Splits to swallow. And
Worm Accord, attack!
This cannot be.
As you see,
Must fall.
Advance! Twilight's hammer is retreating. The temple is ours. Fortify your positions within.
and as you see, the area gets cleared once you take out the boss. But also, we got the achievement right here, as you see. Don't stand too close to me. Basically, as you can read, it says, "Don't be within your certain distance of each other while encountering Black Blood of the Earth." Now, when you get into the temple, you have two bosses you can choose from. We're going to go right and take this boss down. Now, since we took the right, we're facing your Sagajay, done sleeping. He has a Void Bolt, which is basically shadow damage, and it initially does initial damage and has him take damage every 2 seconds, and it does stack. Now, the Call Blood of Shumar, it's basically, you see there's different colored spots here. Blood's gonna form from these spots. Now, 4 types of blood show up on Heroic. You just need to DPS them down, more or less. But if you just want to kill everything in this room, though, as it is, you just pull him and all this. You basically would kill all these ads before you pull them, but since we're high level, we can just kill him and them all in one shot. And looks like I didn't get any pants this time, as usual. Always seems to be the one piece of gear I never get. It's the pants out of this place.
A single general remains. You must make haste.
And as you can see, they've been revived, so we have vendors and everything here to get rid of stuff. I'm just gonna go slow because I want to make sure I didn't sell any BOEs. Next up is Warlord Zurgon. He has the ability to focus anger. Excuse me, drinking coffee as I make this video. He's increased his physical damage he does by 20 in his attack speed, and it speeds up. I mean, it's basically stacks. Second drain, basically it's a wave of dark energy he'll shoot in front of himself. easy to dodge, but it also has a leech effect that heals him for, as you see, 10 times the amount he deals. Now, with the Erupting Shadows, he'll put that on a random person, and on Heroic, it deals shadow damage and knocks back all players. Now, he can also summon a Void of Unmaking. Basically, if it gets out to here, in this area where all the flesh is, it'll detonate. As you can see, it causes a black blood eruption. Basically, everyone's going to be taking a lot of damage. Now, when the Void collides with him, it inflicts a direct shock onto him, increasing the damage he takes. Basically, for every time it bounces between players, but it will enrage him, making him awaken the Maul of Guzra. Basically, it just adds a spawn out of nowhere that you just can take out. Oh, we should be able to just hit him one hit. Oh, look, gloves dropped. But it, oh, Colossal Dragon Plate Gauntlets. Now, because we're on Heroic, the color of the gear here is actually going to be purple. I believe normal mode has red. I think LRF was just yellowish orange. Just check to make sure there's no BOEs.
The flow of darkness abates. It seems you truly are the heroes of legend. The aspects have already gathered and await your arrival. Go now.
Now we're gonna actually fly up here. Not to a boss fight, but to basically a little scene that will give us entrance into the next boss fight area. And this next boss fight actually has significance to the Rogue class, due to the fact that to start their legendary dagger quest, they actually have to pickpocket the next boss, which is quite easy, because all they have to do is use their move known as Distract, and then pickpocket her. If they straight out try to pickpocket her without using Distract,
use. The power of the dragon's soul is too great. I cannot wield it safely. The raging forces within it may be the doom of us all.
Then truly, we are lost.
Not necessarily. I believe, yes, it just might work. The focusing iris within the Eye of Eternity may allow us to converge the magical matrix contained within the Dragon Soul.
Yes, I see. We can finally turn Deathwing's own power back against him.
I sense danger. It is a trap, carefully laid for us, at this crucial moment.
We have no choice. We must have faith in our allies.
Then I will open the way into the Eye of Eternity. You must not fail, heroes. The future of Azeroth hinges on your actions.
and now Kalgos will open up the Eye of Eternity to us. And see, there's actually a bunch of portals here that helps you traverse this raid. Now, to actually initiate the beginning of this area, you gotta click on the the focusing iris. And there's the boss.
Even with the aspect of time on your side, you stumbled foolishly into a trap. Don't scream just yet, little pups. We'll
It's too
cleanse
far
this
away.
world of your
I don't
code.
have a target. I'm out of range.
You'll not leave this place alive.
I need to get closer.
Not one of you will live. Swagger all you like. You pups don't stand a chance. Flee now while you can.
Alright, now that the boss is active, like I said, if you're a rogue and you want to do the legendary daggers, you would have to use your distract first, then you can pickpocket her. But here we are, Hagra the Stormbinder. As you can see, she has Ice Lance, which causes ice and launches at people randomly. Basically, on Heroic, the Ice Krantz increases frost damage taken per hit. Ice Tomb, she basically traps people and they lose 5% of their HP per second. Just break them out of it. Shattered Ice, she launches a random blast of ice, inflicting frost damage and slowing their speed. Now, Focus Assault, tanks can actually avoid that. When she casts it, just move backwards from her. It basically interrupts her because she stays still. Now, Frozen Tempest, she'll fill the platform with water and ice. You gotta destroy binding crystals in order to destroy it. She also has another ability known as Lightning Storm. With that, you actually have to get together with your party. You have to chain and have lightning throwing through you to each conduit in order to activate it, in order to take down her shield. If you do E phase correctly, she'll have a feedback loop go back at her, and she'll take increased damage for 15 seconds.
You crossed the Stormbinder! I'll slay cowards! You pack of weakling dogs!
Now, as you can see, that was the first wing of this raid back when we had looking for raid active for it, which was called the Siege of Warcraft Temple, first part. Now that we have the focusing iris, we can head back to Kalagos and get
Speak
this started.
freely, friend.
Praise the Titans. They have returned.
Not entirely unexpected.
Excellent. We will begin the ritual at once.
The ritual will take much from us, as it requires a very piece of our being. We will be weakened greatly.
Heroes, this burden falls to you once again. You must protect us from Deathwing's forces, while we imbue the dragon's soul with the power of the aspects. Speak to me when you are ready to begin.
Now this is basically going to be a gauntlet fight. You have to kill a set number of the Twilight Drakes in order to get the boss to spawn. Now, when the boss spawns, you don't actually go into combat. You get a reprieve to heal up, restore mana and everything. And we're going to activate this, and all it is kill or be killed.
Loktar, friend. What is it you wish?
Let's get Thrall to get this started. And Deathwing will come and do his little scene.
It is good to see you again, Alexstrasza. I have been busy in my absence. Twisting your pitiful whelps into mindless abominations, bent only to my will. It was a very painful process.
They are my clutch no longer. Bring them down.
And as you can see, they're going to spawn in random spots. They'll fly up to a spot, and they'll start casting this Shadow Flame Breath. You gotta destroy them, or as you can see, it spreads pretty fast. It could easily overtake this, as you can see, and also as themselves just come down to attack.
It's too far.
So it was on range to actually take out the ones flying. You can actually interrupt them in order to negate them from doing that and get them to come down. So range would have to make sure that they're... What would that word be? I'm thinking of... Oh, yes. Rotating their interrupts. Like I said, I apologize. It's early in the morning for me. I just got my cup of coffee in me. And lucky for me, my buddy here could just one shot with his little throw. I believe you could actually taunt them down too. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to find out. Actually, yes. A tank could actually get them to come down by just simply taunting them. I completely forgot about that. So either the tank can taunt, or you can interrupt. But you definitely wanted to get them down before they had a chance to light up this whole platform and kill everyone, including the aspect.
Mere wells, experiments, a means to a greater end. You will see what the research of my clutch has yielded. Nefarian, Onyxia, Sinestra, they were nothing. Now you face my ultimate creation. The hour of twilight is nigh. The sun sets on your pitiful, mortal existence.
I sense a great disturbance in the balance approaching. The chaos of it burns my mind.
I am the beginning of the end. The shadow which blots out the sun. The bell which tolls your doom. For this moment alone was I made. Look upon your death, mortals, and despair.
This is Auctionox. You don't have to engage him right off the bat. You get a moment of reprieve to recover and everything. Now, we'll bring this guy up. Here we go. He's an abomination of dark energy and such. Unstable monstrosity, basically he just arcs out shadow damage to people. Now, Twilight Shift, as you can see, is an ability for me to transfer back into the normal realm, which comes in an ability. Now, Fading Light, he sucks light out of his current target and random player, putting them into Twilight for a while. Now, upon expiration, they'll die. Basically, that's when you pop this one, Heroic Will. Now, Hour of Twilight calls upon Twilight Realm to shadow damage on them. The tanks have to stay and take the hit. And in Heroic, 5 players need to at least take it, or the aspects pretty much get killed. Basically, if you get hit by it once, you do not want to get hit by it again, because it will immediately kill you. Now, as you can see, you stand outside his range of melee, he just starts attacking randomly. 6 minutes pass, as you can see, he basically becomes unstable. And if the shield around them, the aspects of the time fail, he goes boom, kills everyone. Now, as you can see, the aspects actually buff you. Of course, the bronze will give both bumps to DPS, as Ysera, Alexastraza, and Caligos boost up casters. And Thrall, of course, helps the tanks. Also, another thing about this boss, he drops a mount known as Experiment 12B, which is basically a chromatic dragon mount. Well, let's get started and beat this guy senseless. You see, I can't charge him, so we're just gonna...
Is the hour of twilight. But I am
And as you see, minutes to midnight, basically, as long as no one's hit by Outer Twilight more than once, you get the achievement. And now there will be a cutscene playing.
It is done. Our power now resides within the Dragon Soul. Our fate lies with you, Earthwarder.
Teresa, Karen, Agra, I will not fail you. I will not fail this world.
Destroys the Horde's warship, of course. And now the Alliance warship will show up, alluding to the next part of the fight. Now, all you have to do is talk to the Sky Captain here.
Fear causes hesitation.
And we go chasing after Deathwing, as you can see. Now, this isn't the boss fight yet. You have to talk to the Sky Captain once more to initiate it. And it becomes a small gauntlet of 3 waves of enemies, and then the boss, which, as you can see, here is the Dragon Soul map, which is pretty awesome. Right now, we're actually on the ship. Our next stop will be here, and then it'll be here, which I should hopefully be able to pull up the map for that. Now, before we get into it, let's talk about the boss, War Master Blackhorn. Stage 1, I told you, is basically the waves of the Dragon Riders. While you kill the Az to jump off the dragons, you'll have to wait for the harpoon gun to pull in the dragons themselves. But also at the same time, there will be fire on board the ship spreading. You also have a Twilight Sapper, which is more or less a suicide bomber. If he reaches the inside of here, the ship takes massive damage. He'll detonate, and it takes 20% of the durability of the ship. Now, after that's all said and done, Phase 2 activates, where he'll jump down. He basically has the skills of a warrior. Honestly, a protection warrior, even though he's willing to one-hander. But he also has the ability known as Siphon Vitality. In this fight, you want to actually focus on his mount, Verona, or whatever you pronounce it as. She'll do damage to you while you're up there, but if you focus on taking her out, he won't be able to Siphon Vitality to heal himself. Now, on Heroic, she has 9% health. She jumps down to help, which makes the fight kind of easier because melee then can focus on her. On Normal, it's all about range taking her down. And we're going to initiate this fight so you guys can see how it goes.
It's not tragic to die doing what you love.
All ahead, fool. Everything depends on our speed. We can't let the destroyer get away. Our engines are damaged. We're sitting ducks up here.
You won't get near the master. Dragon Riders, attack!
All hands to battle stations. Keep those monsters away from the ship.
I'm out of range.
Now, periodically during this fight, the dragons and Blackhorn's mount will shoot out fireballs. Especially Blackhorn's mount. You want to stand in wherever she's shooting the fireball or something. It will be massive.
Oriana,
right here it is.
give them hell.
Back then, you need to stand in, as a bunch of people would, in order to negate any damage done to the Skyfire. Now, as you can see, on Heroic, his mount will shoot a broadside, which will actually take a chunk of durability, 20% of its current durability, right off. Now, here's the Sapper. Because I'm on high level, I'm able to actually see him. Back then, you need to AoE, trap, slow, do whatever you can to reveal him and burn him down.
Give them hell.
Now, as you can see, the harpooner's pulling the dragons in. This is our second wave. Now, one more wave, and then we'll be able to engage Blackhorn. Blackhorn.
Oriana! Give them hell!
Now we just gotta wait for the last wave of enemies, and there's another broadside. What's scary is I do not see the HP here. But as you see, after the second broadside, deck fires kick out, which basically starts spreading, as you can see. But, as you can see, ads will come out to assist by taking out the fire.
Oriana,
fire brigade.
Give them hell!
Concentrate everything on the armored Drake.
Now we're going to see if we can get her down with him. I don't know if this is a one-shotter. We'll see. And I think he's called her Goriana, so... Now, she's immune until she gets over to here. Now, she should be landing down here. And it looks like, yeah. There you go. Now, as you see, he siphons HP from her. So, you gotta take her out. Like I said, I never get loot on the character I run through here. Now, I'm actually going to clean out my inventory real fast. And see, there's actually a portal to the base. Here. And there's another one to get me back to the Skyfire. Now, you see that I've got these molts of darkness. Deathwing himself will drop a different type of mold. But, let me show you. Where? Let's see. Wands, Geologist. I think that's who I'm looking for.
Hello.
Now you see, you get geos from what you got. Deathwing drops his own essence. But as you can see, I have a Mold Darkness. We're going to buy one. Now you can loot these. And as you can see... there we go. As you can see, a gem comes out. Now, this was a way to actually get the epic level gems back then in this expansion. The one that you bought with Deathwing's Molt would definitely give you one. But right now, at the end, we'll run back and grab his geode too. Now that we got this part of the fight done, next fight comes with us taking it right to Deathwing.
100%
After a
pure
cutscene,
adrenaline.
we'll be into the next boss fight. Which right here, we're going to explain it before we go in. Now, the spine of Deathwing, it's 3 parts. You have to take out 3 plates in order to progress. But the problem is, depending on how many people are on what side of Deathwing, they'll roll that way. So it's a constant battle of moving and making sure. Now, as you can see, here I don't have that. We're going to have to de-equip this in that fight, just because. And this. And this. Just because of the abilities I'll pop out. Now, you'll watch the fight, but there'll be amalgamations on Heroic, especially. When they detonate, you lose a chunk of your health, which is called degradation. For every one of these guys that explode, you lose 5% of your health for the remainder of the fight. But you want to get them to get to a superheated nucleus so they can cast nuclear blasts when you kill them in order to pry open a plate. But to do that, you have to kill these corrupted blood and run them over the corpses. We're going to show you this fight,
causes hesitation,
and you'll see how it
and
goes.
hesitation will cause your worst fears. coming apart. Tear up the plates and we've got a shot. Don't worry about me. Stop the destroyer. Ain't you following, Darini?
Now this is gonna be a little bit of time consuming because I gotta wait until enough of these bloods spawn to kill in order to
Cling while you can, heroes.
get superheated boss.
And your world are doomed.
But I can't be rolled off because I'm actually inside this, which gives me grasping tentacle and makes me stuck. Now he can't roll me off. I just gotta watch my health levels, that's all.
Cling while you can, heroes. You and your world are doomed.
Now that should be enough slimes. We're gonna get this started finally.
Your tenacity is admirable, but pointless. You ride into the jaws of the apocalypse.
Hey, he's casting Nuclear Blast. It's gonna pry open this plate here. And you're gonna have to do this 3 times. But as you see, I got degradation, means I lost 5% of my health. And because I actually killed another one with my Blade Storm, I'm now 10% health down.
Your efforts are
What we're gonna when he rolls, he actually throws off these aggluminations. As you can see, they go by. So now all we're gonna do is wait till we build up another supply of blood, kill them, kill that other corrupted tentacle to spawn another ad. And it's just basically rinse and repeat.
Your efforts are insignificant. I carry you to your deaths. Are insignificant. I carry you to your deaths.
I should mention, back then you don't stand in a nuclear blast because it would kill the whole group if they were nearby.
It's too far.
But high level, you pretty much get away with a lot of stuff. Also, if you notice,
Less than dust, fit only to be brushed from my back.
the blood I killed that I didn't have absorbed is slowly moving to one of the openings to respawn itself. So, that's what happens. It doesn't die personally unless it gets absorbed. Other than that, it'll actually crawl back into one of the openings in order to reassemble itself, I would say.
Your efforts are insignificant. I carry you to your deaths. but pointless. You ride into the jaws of the apocalypse.
Now you can see we're actually at the mouse room. And as you see, I forgot to open this up last, but as you can see, the map here shows you that you're at the spawn at Deathwing.
I'm out of range.
Make sure I got everything back on. Now, before we initiate this, the madness of Deathwing. Basically, the aspects will be here on each of the 4 platforms. Each has their own unique buff to give to you. Deathwing will put out 4 limbs that you'll have to DPS down in order to get to Phase 2. But as you destroy every limb, you lose the buff from that current aspect, whatever platform you destroyed the limb on. So you have to choose carefully which ones you wanted to go. During this fight, he's going to try to bring forth the Cataclysm again in order to blow you up and kill everyone on the whole planet. Now, the aspects are not immune. He can summon up adds, as you can see, the Exalt aspect. He'll summon a limb that you're going to have to kill in order to keep the aspects from being destroyed. He also launches a bolt of Elementium, which, if not destroyed, could explode. Now, when you fight the limbs, they can hemorrhage, causing regenerative blood to come out, also as well as limb tentacles that come out to be more of a pain. We're going to let you see this fight, see how it goes. You'll understand, hopefully.
Loktar, friend, it is done. At last, the Destroyer has met his end. Now, we can begin to heal our world.
I
You have
also
accomplished
forgot to
the
mention,
impossible. Succeeded where all Azeroth feared you would fail. Before you is the cache of the aspects. Take from it what you will, for you have more than earned the right.
Although you may want to hurry.
now as you can see, this fight, as I was saying, he actually drops 2 mounts on Heroic, also a pet. And as you can see, I've been aiming to get this Blazing Drake, but when we get this fight started, you'll see the ass, and you'll understand some of the mechanics, hopefully. And also, you don't have to worry about falling into the water. You'll actually get a boost to get platform to platform.
Loktar, friend, what is it you wish?
You have done nothing! I will tear your world apart!
I will bring you closer to the Emerald Dream. Seek safety there when
I
the
need a
fight
target.
becomes too intense.
I'm out of range.
I will cleanse whatever corruption I can. My fire will not harm you.
It's too far away.
I am Deathwing, the Destroyer, the end of all things. Inevitable, indomitable. I am the
One step
Cataclysm.
closer. The unknowable, transcendent power of the Emerald Dream. I now give unto the Dragon's Soul.
feel the elements awakening, rejoicing. The cataclysm is over.
The champions who fought at our side assured the survival of our world. But now, we must see it with mortal eyes. We dragon aspects have fulfilled our great purpose, and our ancient power is expended. But though our day draws to an end, life endures, and new generations will be born. Today's victory belongs to all who stood against the shadow. You are Azeroth's true guardians, and the future of this world is in your hands. For the dawning of the Age of Mortals has begun.
Now this giant chunk of Elementium's your loot. Now you see I got a mold Deathwing, so we're gonna go in there, cash it in, and see what we get.
What brings you here? Good luck, friend.
Now you see I got a Queen's Garnet. They used to be very sought after back then. But as this has been the Dragon Soul, guys. Staring in from a staring game and asking you to please like and subscribe to these videos. To also go check out my Twitch channel and follow on there. Right now my goal is to try to hit affiliate in order to start making funds that can better the YouTube and Twitch channels. And eventually my goal is to actually make this my job permanently. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.